Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to the Business B.E.A.R podcast. It's Connor Norman here, your business development specialist. We got another exciting episode up for you today. We've got a returning guest to talk about a great organization and an awesome event that's been happening in our area for 20 years. That's right, we're going to be talking about the Art and Wine Festival that happens in McHenry. We're going to break that down. I know it's grown, it's something new all in its own, and Paula Yudelevit is going to tell us all about it. But before we get started, let's talk a little bit about the Business B.E.A.R podcast. Now, this is your mover and shaker program that lets you know everything about your business community. We bring in economic development professionals, we bring in resource partners, and we bring in you, our business owners, or our entrepreneurs looking to grow a business in our community. Maybe you're just listening along and you just want to find out about all this stuff. All are welcome here. And if you're interested in having a business featured on the program, give me a call. It's 301-334-7281, or you can email at cnorman@garrettcountymd.gov. Again, that's 301-334-7281, or email cnorman@garrettcountymd.gov. Remember, any opinions expressed by the host or their guest are their own and do not reflect that of Garrett County government or Garrett County business development. All right, Paula, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very good. Welcome back to the show. It's early. I've only had a couple cups of coffee, so
Early?
I'm stumbling. I guess it's 11:30. See where my brain's at?
Yeah.
All right. I'm only a cup of coffee deep. Usually it's 2 by now at least.
Yeah, I can only do half of one.
Well, see, you're stronger than I am. I need to stop with the late nights. You know, it's this balance between being in economic development by day and then that radio entertainer by night. I gotta find that balance or sleep sometime in between those two points, right?
Yeah, you might need a nap in between.
Lay off the stimulants is what you're telling me. I got it. All right, so let's talk about the Art and Wine Festival. And I know you've described yourself on this program before, but for someone that may be tuning in for the first time, let's talk about you and what you got going on here in Garrett County.
So we have actually this year it's the Art, Wine, and Spirits Festival.
No way.
Yeah, so we've added spirits. We've got craft bourbons, tequila, gin, rye, whiskey, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Okay.
So we've added spirits to it. It says, and we'll talk about tickets too.
Okay.
We wanted to change it up, being our 20th year.
Okay.
And a little bit about me is I'm the co-founder. So this is my 20th year.
Nice.
There's actually one other person. We started with Vianne Bellin, but there's actually Jimmy Flanagan has also been on it from the beginning.
Wow.
So, yeah,
okay.
I know. I was just
So you got a great team.
So we have a great committee. But yeah, it started small and it has grown. One year, during COVID, we did an online auction.
Okay.
But other than that, every year we try to change it up. But this year, probably we're changing it more than we ever have before. And I'm really excited about it because our wine distributors, so we get our wines through distributors who get it through suppliers, who get it through wineries. It's took me about 10 years just to learn that part.
Gotcha.
But they're all excited. They're really in. We've got 40 tables of wines.
Wow.
And so that's 40 wineries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't go to Napa and go to 40 wineries in
No way.
a week. So, so they're every variety. And I guess I should start by saying the dates of this event.
Yeah, let's hear the dates.
So, because I'm going to be all over the place because there's just so much going on.
Okay.
But anyway, the dates are Friday night, September 6th, and that is our premium night. And we'll talk a little bit about that too, because we're introducing single barrel bourbons and to that. So there's 2 different single barrel bourbons for those connoisseurs who know what that means. Of course, I didn't, but I do now. And then on Saturday is the Art, Wine, and Spirits Festival. We've got like 30, I don't know, maybe 35, 36 artisans.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and they're wonderful. We have these new ones. I mean, we've got our oldies but goodies, beautiful art, And then, the woodwork that some of these people do, the pottery, the jewelry, paintings. We have a glass blower. Have you seen them?
I have not. Okay, so that's not true. I think at the Big Funky Blues Fest,
They
he's
were.
been featured the last 2 years, and so I'm usually up on stage introducing the bands, and I have to admit that sometimes I don't get around to all the vendors, but he is usually close enough to the stage where I'm sitting up there just enamored watching him
Yeah.
at his work. I mean, he's not just putting his stuff up for sale, which is great. He's also making it
He's
right in front of you.
It's so cool. His stuff is gorgeous. Those fish and just everything. So yeah, they demonstrate their glass blowing, and of course they sell their beautiful bourbon glasses, but also their these beautiful fish and these. It's just beautiful stuff. So
Wow,
anyway, they all are. So we're really excited about the artists,
great.
and we have them a list of them on our website.
Okay.
Um, and then uh, so that's the 2 day event. So Friday is from 5 to 8. That's advance tickets only because we only have 300 and it sells out fairly quickly.
Okay.
And then Saturday is from noon to 6, and the wine and spirit store stays open till 7.
Very
So for
cool.
those of you who have never been to it before, the way we work it is unlike other wine festivals, we make it very easy for our patrons. So you go and taste the wines and the spirits at different tables. Tables are numbered, and you have a sheet, and then you can go into our wine store, and the table numbers correlate with table numbers in the wine store, so you can easily find the wines that you have been tasting. And we have a retail wine store that is just like a regular liquor store that you would go in here,
Oh, great.
with cashiers and things like that. So you're not having to take your wines from one winery and put it in your car and then come back. You have one place to buy them all.
Well, and that's great too, because if you're going through and you say, wow, I really like this, and I don't think, let's say you're visiting the area and coming to the festival specifically, and you try something and say, this winery is just nowhere near me. They don't sell this in the store. You have a shop right there that they can take as much as they want home back with them.
Yep, and it all benefits Heart for Animals. So
Excellent.
it's kind of a double, it's a double bonus. So we've got we also have a wine check there. So if you want to go in, buy your wines, go back out, do a picnic, whatever you want to do, because we have a ton of food vendors and great food. Then you can picnic, listen to our live entertainment, and come back and get your wine. And we have a pickup station, and people will help you to your car. So it's very different from what people are used to.
Okay.
This year in our wine store, because people have been asking for it, we will actually have chilled wines. So you can buy a bottle or 2 bottles or whatever many you want, and go out to our picnic area, buy the foods from our food vendors, and they're the same as the fair. So we have Cindy's Fund, and they have those amazing chicken, the crab, chicken and crab
Oh,
sandwiches.
yeah.
We have Rotary Club French fries, which I work at.
Excellent.
During the fair, Knights of Columbus, and then we've got food trucks and food vendors. We have Dina Colada, who does a charcuterie in a martini glass.
No way.
It's very cute.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and we've got our taco guy. It's just really fun foods. So you can have a little food, walk around. Over 40 tables, that's over 200 wines to taste. The spirits are in a separate area. So with the wine being unlimited, the spirits, because they're a little more alcohol-y, there's 12 tasting tickets. But we've got there's a few celebrity wines and spirits out there.
Okay.
There's Bon Jovi, who has Hampton Waters Rosé.
Okay.
So he'll be there. Okay, I'm just kidding. His There'll be a cutout of him there.
Oh, nice, nice. All
You can
right.
take a picture cut out of him.
You
I
almost had
know, and
me.
it'll
You
be
almost had me instantly. I'm
yeah,
like, I'm down
right,
there.
right. I wouldn't even have to advertise if Bonte was. um, but it's just a fun rosé, and they're bringing their ping pong tables, so people can play ping pong and taste their wines, and then Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. Do you know that show on
Yeah,
HD?
yeah,
I
definitely.
think I don't know what channel it's on. Um, he has a whiskey called Noble,
Really?
so that we'll have that there. Bethany Frankel does that Forever Young wines. She is the house one of the original housewives of New York. I don't watch the show, but she's very popular, I guess. So
Gotcha.
she has a wine too. So there's some celebrity wines.
Of course.
And then we have some Friday night, we have some very exclusive wines. And one is an $800 bottle. But the wines themselves are just very exclusive. And what, to your point before, is there's some spirits and wines that you can't get anywhere. They may not be in people's, like Pennsylvania. Some of these won't be in Pittsburgh or whatever. So
Hmm.
this is the place that you buy them. The bourbons, which come to find out, a single barrel bourbon means that these are made exclusively for the event.
Okay.
So we have two of them. One is Litchfield Distillery in Connecticut, and the other is Spring Hollow Farms in New York. Both very small batch, and they will be each creating a blend just for the Art and Wine Festival.
Oh,
So
wow.
the bottles will be hand signed. The Spring Hill will Hollow will their distiller will be here. He'll be signing them. They'll have the labels are produced specifically for the Art Wine Spirits Festival, and you can only get it here. For people who really like their bourbons and like these single blends that you can't get anywhere else, they make great Christmas presents
Oh,
and great
wow.
birthday and holiday presents. So that's where you buy them.
Yeah, and it's never too early. I
Never
just
truly.
I just had our friends from Mountain Postal in, and one of the subjects was, when do you start that holiday season? When's the best time to ship? And they were sharing some best practices, and they literally said right now. If you want to make sure and guarantee it's there on time, it might seem early, but they're receiving packages even today from last Christmas and stuff. When shipping gets
Wow.
mired down, those cards get delayed, those packages don't arrive on time. And this sounds like this is a kind of a nice tie-in to that previous
Yeah.
episode. So go on, Paula.
Okay, because there's so much more. So I love the fact that we're going to have chilled wines available for sale, and all these wineries for every taste. The retail store, but also the tickets this year include a coupon good in the wine store. So Friday night,
Really?
yeah. So Friday night, your ticket includes a $25 coupon for you to buy. You can buy Friday or Saturday, it doesn't matter. And then Saturdays, you have a $15 coupon. So it's like a free bottle of wine or a bottle of spirits or whatever that is good in the store. We're also doing a 10% off hourly specials on selected wines. So every hour, we're going to have wine and spirits. We'll have a selection of wines and spirits on sale every hour.
Wow.
We have
Okay.
to figure out how we're going to get that word out to people, but I think we're going to put it. We'll get it figured out so that they know which ones are.
Well, it's an incentive to stay all day. If there's
It-
something specifically you want to get, make sure you're there all day. So, when that hour is announced or you see it on the
Yeah.
flyer, time to get into the store and grab what you need.
Yeah. So those are the changes that we've made. More food. There's 10 more. There's 10 more tables of wine than there were last year.
Wow.
That's
It's really
the-
grown.
That's the difference. And these wineries really are excited about being here. They're excited about getting their wines out there. Um, and Friday night, again, is really the people who have a different taste in wines and that, because they're high end. And the bourbons. The bourbon will be there Saturday too. The single barrel will be there Saturday too. A lot of fun, a lot of changes. We're really excited about it.
Okay, I think, events like this are important to a community. When we tie it back to businesses and economic development, having established annual festivals that bring people into the area, not only to patronize our businesses, but to kind of get a taste and a flavor for the local area. And your event really kind of captures that. I mean, look at the businesses you're assisting here, the artisans, the food vendors, the
Local restaurants here.
exactly, the local. I mean, we've got local wineries, local, basically a nice taste of Garrett County available for people to come and just enjoy our area. They're staying in accommodations, and even locals now have something annually to come and partake in that is something they can count on. In 20 years is an incredible tenure, and if we talk about that time frame, let's go back to the very beginning of this.
Okay.
When you're talking about establishing a fundraiser and thinking about something to do, what kind of brought you to this?
Okay, so good question. So 20 years ago, I was the chairperson of the marketing roundtable for the chamber.
Okay.
They had just started it. And one of our tasks was how do we put heads on beds after the season?
Okay.
And so we had all these ideas and stuff like that. And I don't even know how it was, who brought it up, but let's do an art and wine festival. And we actually had a separate group of the same people that were on the marketing roundtable did it. We all did it. So of course, I was elected to chair it, but I said I can't do this by myself. So Vianne Bell, who used to have a B&B here,
Okay.
still lives here, she and I chaired it, and we had Linda Carr from Lakefront. Jody was on it from Tailor Made. I'm going to miss a bunch of people, but we had a great group of people that were business people here
Hmm.
for the task of putting heads on beds, and that's what we did. Now, what happened was it was the first year we swore we wouldn't do it again before we did it.
Gotcha.
And once we expected 200 people, we had 800. We were selling wines out of a window. I mean, like looking at these, it was crazy.
Wow.
But we realized how important it was. And at the time, it was for the Red Cross.
Okay.
And that's, but so we realized this is going to grow and it's going to be great. And so we continued it, and it just kept growing. And everybody, all of our businesses can have can have something in this, like
Yeah.
the restaurants. So people come for, and they have their dinner and Friday night. The lodging partners, Rayleigh Vacations, has 10% off packages and includes the tickets, includes Saturday's tickets at a discount. So they're doing 10% off packages in all of their places: Cove Creek, Rayleigh Rentals, the Silver Tree, Will o' the Wisp, and then Tailor Made Vacations will be doing packages. So, the whole community prospers from this.
Absolutely.
And that's really the kind of the point of it. That's how it started, and that's what we want. And then, but it's also a place where our visitors who love coming here anyway, or have never been here before, get a taste of Garrett County, and that too is important. So
Definitely.
you stay a little longer on Sunday, and you go boating, and September here is gorgeous.
Absolutely. And quite arguably one of the best times to come because, the heat may be dying down a little bit, which is always nice. But quite honestly, And people don't believe me on this, but September, especially around the festival, you start seeing the first peakings of the autumn leaves as they come through, the thicket. You start seeing the oranges, the yellows.
Yeah.
They may not be as abundant, but September is the time to start that
Right.
autumn season.
Also, everything's indoors. So when we've had rainy days, it doesn't really matter. You're walking you may be outside for a minute, but everything's under cover,
Okay.
so um, it's never stopped anybody from enjoying themselves and having fun. We have a lot of reunion type groups that come.
Oh, cool.
But we also have um, like girls' weekends or guys' bachelor parties, girls' bachelorette parties. Um, a lot of those kinds of things too.
Oh, definitely.
We've got, and then people, just friends get together and rent a house and just come up. And we've got our homeowners and our residents that live here and our second homeowners. So it's a good group of people. Um, and it's just fun.
Yeah, it's a fantastic mix. Now, I think you mentioned this a little earlier, so this is kind of a 2 for 1. Not only are you having a good time, you're tasting some great wines, some great spirits. You might also be trying some wonderful local foods, but all of this money you're spending, there is a organization that benefits at the end of the day, and it's a great local nonprofit. Tell me a little bit about that
Okay.
element.
Before I do that, I just also want to say for the guys that don't drink the wine and don't want to do the spirits and women, there's a football lounge. And we have a
Okay.
huge, huge TV that has the game of the week on. It's going to be WVU. It's going to be the Mountaineer game.
Yep, you know
We
it.
have Mountain State Brewery doing their beer on tap for $5 for a whole 16 ounce. And we've got tables and chairs and all kinds of stuff in there and bleachers, and you can sit and watch the game. And we have a cigar bar. So the cigar bar is going to be outside the spirits and the
Okay.
football lounge area, where you can buy some cigars, sit out there, have a smoke, have a beer, have wine, spirits, whatever. So I wanted to throw that in too because
Yeah, you got something for everyone.
we have it. It's just all around fun. Okay, so yes, this whole thing benefits Heart for Animals. And Heart for Animals, for those of you who don't know, we are in our 10th year. And last year we actually celebrated our 20th of when we actually began. The building itself, the Heart Animal Center, is 10 years old now.
Excellent.
So we have another milestone. But Heart for Animals is a nonprofit organization that is an animal welfare organization that we rescue, transport, and adopt dogs and cats. And we also have programs for our low-income residents of Garrett County and also surrounding area, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, that is low-cost spay-neuters and emergency care when that fund is funded. So come on out and help fund these things.
Oh, yes.
For our low income. And then we have Lola's Fund, which is for senior animals. So you can adopt a senior from Heart and you get discounts throughout its lifetime. Or we have emergency care for seniors.
Awesome.
For senior animals. So that's in a nutshell. We're a little different than other nonprofits where we have 3 profit centers, and those are revenue centers. They're not really profit centers. They're revenue centers that support and sustain the operations of Heart. So they pay for our salaries, they pay for our mortgage, they pay for the building, they pay for the operations facility, all of that stuff. Everything else that we do are fundraisers. Like this would be our biggest. We have a golf tournament in the spring, and other things. Our galas this year also is about $500,000 that we have to raise every year to support just our mission.
Wow.
So it's pretty important. Now the other thing, and not to get away from Heart, because we all love our animals and
Absolutely.
adopt, don't shop.
Well, and here's another thing. So we covered heart in an earlier episode of the Business Bear podcast that our folks can go back. I believe it was episode, let's see, I think it was episode 6. And if I'm wrong, I'll correct that later. But definitely go back and check out the Heart episode to learn more about this great organization. Paula was my guest then, and she went top to bottom all the awesome things that Heart provides. So definitely, I encourage you guys to go back and check it out. So go ahead, Paul.
We also at the festival, we have other local nonprofits.
Okay.
Because we want to support everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like Garrett Mentors, the Reflection House, they have booths, and Garrett Mentors makes those, what are they, crocheted wine holders that you put around your neck.
Oh, yes.
So you have to stop by there because you need 2 hands for everything
It's
else.
super convenient.
And they sell them like crazy. So, yeah,
yes.
So that's great. But we also have, our fair booths, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
So Knights of Columbus, Cindy's Fund, Rotary Club. But those are also nonprofits that we help support too. So we want to just give back to the community as well. And we feel that that's important at this event.
Well, and for most people, I always say, hey, check out the website, check out the full list of people, vendors, nonprofits being supported. Because when we're doing a podcast format, I always say this to my listeners and to my guests. When you start naming off people and thinking you're going to miss somebody. So it's not to be offensive. We're human beings. Sometimes we're going to forget all of them. But it does definitely benefit a lot of great organizations. Now, you're giving me so many reasons to plug previous episodes, like Garrett Mentors. I had them in for an episode. You can go back and hear from Laura Fike and everything Garrett Mentors does. Great organization. I think that's episode 4. I'm gonna be totally wrong here. But anyway, this is fantastic event. It's an annual event. We're looking forward to celebrating in our milestone program. So we developed, for those that may not be familiar, we developed this milestone program to help our businesses, our big events, our nonprofits celebrate these big deal moments as they reach them. Because holding an event for 1 year, you said the very first year, I'll never do this again. Here we are 20 years and you're saying, well, it's bigger, it's better than ever. We've refined it. It's still helping local nonprofits, local businesses, still bringing people into the community, still giving the locals something to do. I mean, that's a big deal. And we always like to remind our listeners, we like to remind our population, this is why we support these events. This is why we talk about them and advertise for them, because at the end of the day, you're helping people that live here. You're increasing the quality of life, not just for our locals, but our visitors as well, by offering something out there that can help everyone, entertain everyone, and of course, at the end of the day, help some great causes for everything from children's groups, elderly groups, pets, the whole gamut.
The people that help us too, our volunteers are so important to us. And the people who come out to help us volunteer, we couldn't do it without them. We have Garrett College athletes. They help us set up, tear down. They're the ones that empty the spit buckets, and they're the ones that bring the water and make sure that there's ice. And they do a phenomenal job. We have the Garrett County Jail that helps us set up and tear down. We've got the Junior ROTC from Northern, and they help take the boxes out to people's cars. So the whole community is involved in this, and it's just a great event. And to be able to have, if you like to drink wine and you like to drink spirits and you like to drink beer, have the state police there that does free breathalyzers, which is actually that's the longest line there, because then people know and they relax, they wait. We also have drivers, so we have a van, and the van will take people all over wherever they go around the lake. So you can leave your car there. We have we have the van. It's there from 2 to 7, and it'll take you home, and you can get somebody else to pick you up. But for the cost of these, there's different price structures depending on if you just want Friday. You can get a Friday night ticket. You can get a Friday, Saturday wine. You can get a Friday, Saturday wine plus spirits ticket. And the combo tickets are $10 off too. So you get not just the discount, but then you also get the coupons, and you get $10 off those combo tickets. So the value is there.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun and safe event, like you said. I know we encourage everyone to drink responsibly and you guys have made sure there are steps in place to get people home, in case they have too much fun. And that's what we encourage, people to have, and really enjoy themselves at this event. So you're getting people home safe. You're making sure that there's security and medical staff on hand, if there are any issues. So I think it's a great, you guys have really thought of everything here, which is fantastic. Now let's talk about some places where if somebody's listening along and they want to buy their tickets or learn more. Do you guys have a website?
Yes, we have. It's deepcreekwinefest.com.
How easy is that?
Pretty
deepcreekwinefest.com.
Yes, and we have the Facebook page is Deep Creek Wine Fest, and so is Instagram, and you can find out all the information there. Especially what we've been doing on Facebook and Instagram is we're highlighting different wines, we're highlighting different spirits. We talk about how you're helping, just by coming, how you're helping our animals. There's lots of different posts on there to help you decide what you want to do. So
I imagine you guys have quite a bit of local sponsors. Who do we have?
we do. So McHenry Beverage Shop is our sponsor, Tailor Made Vacations and Sales, Rayleigh Realty and Vacation Rentals, the Stogie Company, which is our cigar place, Mountain State Brewery, Perry's, Firefly Farms, Arrowhead Market, First United Bank, the DeepCreekTimes.com, Little Mountain Promotions, and Shop and Save.
Awesome.
Yeah, so those are the people that help make this happen. Mountain State Brewery and Firefly Farms, by the way, on Friday night we don't provide dinner. We provide light hors d'oeuvres, and those are from Firefly Farms and Mountain State Brewery.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you got those local restaurants coming out and providing some of the food. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
really
if they want
nice
to, if they
light hors d'oeuvres.
If this is really delicious food, I want to go find out more. I want to go taste more. They can go to their restaurants afterwards. That sounds like a great deal.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Paula, I think we've learned a lot today about the Art and Wine Festival. Congratulations on 20 years. I know we'll be officially presenting a proclamation here coming up at our next public meeting. So that'll be hitting newspapers and all of our media channels soon. Of course, we encourage everyone that's interested in the Art and Wine Festival and supporting it to go to deepcreekwinefest.com.
Correct.
Where they can find more. You can buy tickets. And of course, let's go over the dates one more time. Remind people when it's going to be.
So it is Friday, September 6th. That is our premium wine tasting and single barrel bourbon tasting. That's advanced sales only. And then Saturday is the Wine and Spirits Festival, and that is from noon to 6, with the Wine and Spirits store staying open till 7.
Awesome.
Get your tickets now, and you'll have the best time, and then make sure you go to our lodging partners to find a place to stay and visit all of our other wonderful businesses in Garrett County.
Absolutely. You'll see us up there. We'll be out there having a lot of fun. Folks, thanks so much for listening. We appreciate having Paula back. One of our, our first repeat guests. So congratulations on that too.
Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone for listening to the Business B.E.A.R podcast. We've got more episodes coming for you, more exciting businesses to talk about. Be sure to follow us at our Garrett County, Maryland Department of Business Development webpage. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter or X, whatever they're calling it. You can find us on Instagram, and we do have a LinkedIn if you want to keep up to date on all the latest business happenings in our community, and of course, when future episodes of the Business B.E.A.R podcast drop. So, again, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you to our guest. My name is Connor Norman, and I'll see you all on the other side.